This is one that I've been waiting for months, guys. Tradecraft out of Broad Branch, blended by Nancy Fraley. I don't know if you guys have heard about it. If you want to learn a little bit more, stick around. Let's talk about this one. All right, welcome back to Brutally Honest Bourbon. So, Broad Branch, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, one of my favorite craft distilleries, hands down. They make fantastic bourbon, they make even better rye, and they are freaking amazing people. Like, I can't tell you how awesome Don and Anna and everybody there has been to Brutally Honest Bourbon. They've been great. We've got a rye barrel pick with them, only because they didn't have any more bourbon at the time, but we love the rye as much or maybe even more than the bourbon. So I guess maybe it was last year, Anna and them and Don had called Nancy and said, hey, we've got some whiskey that's residual of when we first started that we want to blend out and figure out something special to do with it. And so they called Nancy in. Nancy tried it, my understanding, and said, let's use your bourbon to blend with this and see what we can get, right? Well, around that time was when I was trying to do my very first barrel pick with Broad Branch for Brutally Honest Bourbon. And I wanted a bourbon so bad. Tiffany had done one, Michelle had done one at Heritage, and they were fantastic. Anna told me we don't have any more bourbon right now because what we did have of age, Nancy ended up needing to use to blend out for this upcoming project. I immediately got salty. And here comes Tiffany telling me, dude, their rye's better than their bourbon. I'm like, dude, bull crap. Like, I seen that you picked two bourbons. Like, why didn't you pick a rye? You know? And then leave it to Michelle to pick a rye. And I'm like, whoa, wow, okay. Fact, you know, Tiffany wasn't lying to me. Their rye is spectacular. So we picked a rye, but I still want a bourbon. And I hear that today, we're around July 9th or 10th, they just released their Big Winston Bourbon 100 proof there in the distillery. If you can go by there and grab one of those, the one that we would be wanting would be a barrel proof cask strength, 138 to 145 proof. And unfortunately, those aren't ready yet, and we'll just have to sit back and wait on them. Meanwhile, we've got rye to pick from, and we've got this new Tradecraft to try out. So I want to dig into this day. I believe this was ready when we went there in February to do our pick. I was too busy running around with a camera trying to get footage, and I didn't try it. So anxious today to try this one and see what kind of masterpiece Nancy has come up with. I think that this ought to be very interesting. It's going to be 121 proof. It's going to be an 8-year bourbon. This is going to be batch number 1, distilled in North Carolina, matured in charred oak, batch 1, master blend, bourbon 8-year whiskey, 121 proof. Nancy Fraley was the master blender on it. It was a 13-barrel blend, 8-year-old bourbons, exceptional whiskeys with a new purpose and debut of 8-year bourbons orchestrated by the masterful Nancy Fraley and our North Carolina team. Long love the craft. Well, I haven't had anything that Nancy did that I didn't like. Could this be a first? Also haven't had anything from Broad Branch I didn't like. Could it be a first? Let's get into it. $121 proof of North Carolina bourbon blended with some residual barrels that they had from the early days. So they haven't always distilled, right? Their dad did some sourcing whenever we first started, my understanding, to generate revenue while his distillate was aging out. A lot of people do that. It's very common. But everything that you get from them today, distilled in-house, with the exception of this with those residual source barrels. I get a lot of blackberry, raspberry, some blueberry, very berry forward. It is. It's very berry forward. All the sweetness that I'm getting is coming from that fruity type sweetness as well. So it's a brighter type sweetness. Then as you dig into it and you wait on it, there's some bacon spice coming through there, some savory type notes. I could make an argument for a little bit of like mead and maybe some lighter brown sugars. Certainly some bacon spice going on there. And I'm terrible at calling out bacon spice. Like I really need to study that more. Nancy, if you ever see this video, I'd give anything to spend some time with you and just learn. I really would, because I struggle. I need a little help. And I know I tried to run across you at 7-3 last year. I tried to run across with you when you went here, and both times I was out of town working. So unfortunate, but really look forward to the day that I could sit down with you and maybe learn a little bit. So the nose on this thing is completely changed. It started out really bright, fruity, sweet. Now it's turned very savory and bacon spice-like. Reminds you of like spices and stuff that you would use, for me, like in grilling and that kind of stuff. You buy a steak seasoning and it has so many different things going on in it. It's kind of like what this whiskey's got. It does not smell like a typical Broad Branch bourbon. For me, a Broad Branch bourbon is more like a pecan pie, but with like really darker type sweetnesses like molasses and just deep nutty darkness. Like, man, it's so good. So we look at the color on this one, 8 years. It's got a nice mahogany color to it. It's not super dark, doesn't appear to be super viscous. You can see the legs drop out pretty quick on the glass. 121 proof. Cheers. Let's see what it's like. It's spicy. It's definitely savory. That Broad Branch nuttiness comes on like late mid palate to end. Not getting a super long finish on it, but it's hanging in there. Like you can still taste it. There's that nuttiness that I like. It's almost like a sweet and spicy peanut. Does that make sense? So where did my berries go? There's no overabundance of furfural. There's no overabundance of like any type of ester that would make it off-putting. You know, there's no sourness. There's no tanginess. There's no fingernail polish remover. It's starting to turn a little bit more buttery on the nose now. On the mouthfeel and the viscosity of it, I'm going to call it medium. It's definitely darker on the palate. It's my jam. I'll say that. That is my jam. It's a really good whiskey. Am I just jumping out of my seat excited over it? Probably not, like I would be with a Broad Branch bourbon. But this is a very good variation. It's something that they can offer that's going to be different from their typical stuff, and it's really good. It's certainly spicy, like peppery spicy, like a jalapeno or a habanero, like a, spicy. And it has that sweetness. It's got some of those leathers and tobaccos in there that you like. It's definitely that darker profile that I enjoy. When I first opened this, the first thing I got, very bright berry, right? Blackberry, blueberry, some raspberry. I'm not getting that now. Now I do a little bit. I guess you can just make your mind look for things. But it definitely has turned more berry-like on the nose. And I think if you really dig for it and look for it, that blackberry's there. It's certainly like a spicy blackberry mead. Very complex whiskey. it outkicks my coverage. So kudos to Nancy, kudos to Broad Branch. This is a very good offering. Even though I was super salty that it took all those Broad Branch bourbons and I just wanted one barrel, just one. But kudos, very good whiskey. I'm excited to say that I have this bottle. It will be enjoyed. It's certainly different than any other Broad Branch that I have or any other whiskey that I have. So that's really good, right? It's something that you can turn to when you want something a little different. Guys, I feel sure that they still have some of these left over at the distillery. If you're interested in this, I would tell you to reach out to Anna and them and try to make your way by the distillery to pick those up. They won't hold them for you. If you get one, you need to get by there and get it picked up, because people have a bad habit of purchasing these things and not getting by there to pick them up, and it just leaves them holding bottles and bottles and bottles, and they're not a very big distillery, so they don't have room to hold all that. But I would definitely reach out to them, see if they have any of these left. I think Michelle's getting some at Heritage there in South Carolina, so you guys reach out to her as well. And I hope that this has helped some of you guys out. If you've been wondering about Tradecraft from Broad Branch, that's my 2 cents on it. And there again, that's all it is my opinion. I thank you guys for watching. Absolutely thank the patrons for everything that you guys are doing. I'll always say it. Y'all look over at Brutally Honest One, man. We're just growing and growing and growing. We brought Crittenden's in, and that brand is just flooding us with amazing products. So look over there, check those out. Do not sleep on Crittenden's Bottle and Bond, guys. I'm telling you, do not sleep on it. Some of the best Bottle and Bond that you'll have, flavor-wise, right? So it's not watery, it's not thin, it's thicker, it's oily, it's more viscous. It's one that it's affordable enough that you could put it in a cocktail, but it's also flavorful enough that you can sip it neat and absolutely enjoy it. It's a perfect warm-up for me, especially if I'm reviewing Crittenden products. So it's a product that's not super crafty, similar to Broad Branch in my opinion. It seems more quintessential bourbon-like. So I hope that's helped you out. Until the next time, y'all let the whiskey and the friendships flow. Cheers.
Why is it so spicy?
But good.